ladies, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I am E. Welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. What's up, what's poppin'? So in today's video, I'm just gonna talk about my career a little bit, and I really want to tell you 10 things they don't tell you before you start teaching, or 10 things they don't even tell you when you're in school becoming a teacher. There's so many things that you find out just being in the career field. So if I can help one of our future educators out, my heart will be warm and fuzzy on the inside. But these are just my top 10 things. I believe that they are different for everyone. You know, my top 10 is going to be different than another teacher's top 10, but this is just my take on it. I've been teaching for about 5 years, and I've also did 3 internships outside of teaching. I've taught a multitude of grades, so I feel like I know a little something, right? So I'm gonna get straight to the T, okay? So number 1 on my list is they definitely don't tell you how much work you'll actually do outside the classroom. Now, everyone knows that in the teaching profession, you have to do work outside the classroom, but they don't tell you that if you don't have a good balance, how much work that actually be. For example, right now we are in virtual learning, distance learning, wherever you are. They all call it something different. And for me, I feel like my computer is constantly open to the point where now I have to really set boundaries on when I'm gonna work, how much time I'm gonna work, what I plan on getting done in that time frame, and then cut it off. There's times where I'm literally like, you don't have to work and eat at the same time. Like, my computer's open and I'm eating. My computer's open and I'm watching TV. My computer's open, now I'm grading stuff and I'm trying to do stuff for it's just my computer is always open. Like, whoo, sis, take a breather, take a time out. So definitely number 1, they do not tell you how much work you will do outside the classroom. Between grading and planning, you have to have really good time management. Like, if not, you will fall into a teacher wormhole and spend hours on Teachers Fake Teachers and all those other websites because you want to provide these meaty, great lessons for your students, but at what expense? Don't kill yourself for the job, because the job will not kill themselves for you, if that makes sense. I know it sounds a little sour, but it's the truth. In any career, what you put into them, they more than likely won't put into you. So take that day off, sis. Take that sick day just to lay in bed. Do your thing. Number 2 is a little cringy, but the parents act just like their kids. Now, this is not true for all parents and all kids, but in my expert opinion, most of these parents act just like their kids. So if you have a difficult kid, there is a high probable chance that their parent is also going to be difficult. Now, there are those anomalies where the parent is completely opposite of the kid and the parent fully understands their child and what they would do, and they don't think you're making stuff up. But I've been in so many situations where I'm like, oh, I see it. I see where they get it from. Yep. And another thing, don't let the parents walk on top of you. This still goes with number 2. Speaking on parents, like, stand your ground, whether you're a first-year teacher, a 5-year teacher, a 10-year teacher. Stand your ground. You are a professional. You know what you're doing. You were trained to do this. Stand your ground. Be respectful, but be bold and stand your ground. My biggest mistake my first year in teaching is letting the parents intimidate me and not standing my ground. Now I'm at the point where, who you talk to? Find your most professional way to say you got me messed up, okay? Because if you give them an inch, they'll take them out, and they'll be okay with disrespecting you. And then it'll transpire to them disrespecting you in front of their kid, so that their kid thinks that they can disrespect you. Hold firm, and don't let the parents scare you. This one I feel like you may already know, but the world does not respect your career. And be ready to have all of those conversations, and be ready to feel like what you do every day is just not enough for world recognition, because they don't recognize teachers as professionals, in my opinion. Most people do not honor or respect teachers. They don't recognize it as an actual professional career path. You would not go into an OR and tell the surgeon how to do the surgery because you watched Grey's Anatomy, right? You wouldn't go into the dentist and tell the dentist how to pull your teeth because you watched a YouTube video on it, right? You wouldn't go tell a firefighter how to put a fire out because you watched Station 19 or 911. So you wouldn't go into these other places with other professionals and tell them how to do their job. However, teachers have the world's largest peanut gallery, and all they want to do is tell you how to do your job. And the last time I checked, I was the professional. I'm the one that got the degree in this, so you could just back up and mind your business. It sounds a little harsh, but you get tired of people trying to tell you how to do your job, like the peanut gallery. So just be prepared to deal with the peanut gallery, whether it's in your family, whether it's your friends, or if that's that stranger on Facebook that's like, teachers are lazy. Teachers don't really do anything. I'm a parent and I'm teaching at home and I'm basically the teacher and I'm basically homeschooling my kid. Well, if that's the case, then don't log on to my Google Meet. You don't have to. Since you got it, you homeschooling, right? Come up with the lesson plans and teach them for real. Like for real. Do all of it. Don't just do half of it and say, you the teacher. Do all of it. Lighten my load a little bit. Number 4, you have to be prepared to repeat yourself about 500 times a day. So, you want to practice? Look at a wall and say, pick up your jacket, go find your pencil, do you have paper, did you hear the directions, do you understand, do you have a question? Just repeat all of these, small 1 and 2 step directions to a wall, and that's something you'll be doing when you're teaching. Not saying that the kids are a wall, but 9 times out of 10, only half the class heard your directions the first 2 times, and then after that, you're gonna be repeating yourself. Especially with the little ones, because their attention spans are so short. So you just have to be ready to just say it over and over and over again and change up your words when you repeat it, because they may not understand it one way you say it, but they may understand it another way. So just be prepared to, press record, play it back, rewind, play it back, rewind, play it back, because that's what I do. Like daily, I feel like I repeat myself so much. It's tiring sometimes, but it's a job, so it just comes with the territory. So just be prepared for that. Tip number 5, if you are going to be a primary teacher, do not buy those expensive games. I know the Lakeshore store is just so wonderful and shiny and everything seems so great, but don't buy the expensive stuff, because one thing most of my career has been with primary students. And within the first 2 weeks, especially when you're in the classroom, that book is going to get ripped. The pieces to that game are going to get lost. Somebody is bound to put something in their mouth, which is just unsanitary, especially now with COVID. So don't spend all of your money on these expensive things, especially if they're using them independently. It's really not worth it. And then you're going to be more heartbroken because it's like, oh, my good stuff. Oh, my good stuff is ruined. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Just opt for the less expensive thing. Or if you're gonna pay for it, just be okay with it not surviving the whole year. Like, we did like this bouncy ball. Like, one year we were all hyped up on flexible seating, and I am so happy I bought the bouncy, like the exercise balls from Five Below, because I went through a good 4 or 5 that school year just from them being popped. And this one somebody stabbed one with a pencil, somebody cut one with scissors, and it's just, they're kids, so they like to do all of the things you don't want them to do. So don't go out spending a bunch of money on all this fancy stuff. Like, if you can make it out of paper because it's gonna get ruined, make it out of paper and laminate it if you can, or buy it cheap, buy it from a yard sale, garage sale, and save your fancy stuff for the things you're going to do in small group that you'll touch and you can monitor. I'm telling you, don't go out buying all these fancy libraries and stuff, because them books will be up under bottoms, feet, chairs, step and slide across the floor. They're going to be dirty. They're going to be chewed up. So don't even waste your time on trying to do all this fancy stuff. Like, I promise you, your heart and your mind and your temper will be so much better if you don't buy the super expensive things and just let the kids run wild with them, especially in primary grades, so like pre-K, K, 1, 2, maybe even 3rd. You know, wait until they can kind of take care of stuff to buy the more expensive things. Number 6, be prepared to take on a lot mentally. You more than likely will take their home problems, take their school arguments, their school problems. You're gonna bring it all home with you. Make sure you get a journal. Make sure you get a teacher buddy that you can unload and dump on so they can dump back on you just to get it out your system. You're going to bring home the good, the bad, and the ugly. And some of the stuff is gonna weigh on you. Some of the stuff you're gonna wake up first thing in the morning thinking about that one little baby who you know is not getting a well-balanced meal at home, or is having home problems, or the one little baby in your class that can't read but they're trying so hard but they just can't do it and they're discouraged, so now you're getting discouraged. Like, there's so many aspects to the job, so just be prepared to be the mom, the nurse, the counselor, the friend, and the teacher, and all the other hats that we wear. Just be prepared for it. You are never just going to go into your classroom, teach, and go home and that's it. Never. I have yet, even virtually, I'm still bringing their stuff home with me even though I'm already home. This one, number 7, kind of ties into number 1. Set boundaries. It's so easy to get consumed with work. I know, like, my first 2 years, anybody who talked to me, literally all we did was talk about my job, which means I did most of the talking and they did most of the listening, if they were listening. Like, it's so easy to get consumed and all you do is talk about work. Have a life. Turn your brain off. Close the computer. Don't get consumed, because it's super easy to get consumed and you don't want your whole life just to be a teacher. People are going to get bored and then they're not going to want to talk to you, and we don't want that. So don't get consumed. Set boundaries. Create work and home separation, even if you are working from home. Number 8 is mandatory. Invest in self-care. Go get your nails done. Go get your hair done. Schedule that massage, sis, and add on the facial. Take care of yourself. Make sure you have that quiet time, that self-care time, because again, it's easy to get consumed. So this is mandatory. Create your own self-care routine. And I even think that on some insurances, you can get them to pay for your massages and tie it into stress or something like that. So look into that. I know I am. This one is a biggie because I did not do this, so I'm definitely letting you guys know. Do your research. If you plan on working in a certain county, working in a specific school, a specific grade, do as much research as you can. I didn't do much research on my first school that I worked in. I mean, I had a good experience there, but I didn't do much research on it. Like, they offered me the job and I was like, okay, I'm good, I'm sold, I'm getting a job. Because they tell you in school, like, you never know when the phone is gonna ring. It can only ring that one time, and if you deny the job, then you don't got no job. But do your research so you are comfortable where you are. Every school is different, every district is different, every county is different, every principal is different, every school staff is different. So as much research as you can do your research, and don't be scared to ask those questions. I know when I was interviewing for my second school, I went in there with so many questions, because there's certain things that you get used to working in one place that you need to know. Is it comparable to the new place that you are trying to get hired at? Do your research on the staff. That's all public information, so you can look up the school and see who the principal is. See if you can find them on Facebook. I'm just saying, look it up. If you know somebody who works in the county, see if they know somebody that works at that school. Try to network as much as possible, and just do your research. The more you know, the better you can make a more informed decision. But these are things that you need to know. And if you need a list of questions you should ask for interview, just go ahead and comment below and I can give you some great questions that I asked in my interviews. And number 10, we wear multiple hats and there's a lot that goes into the job. You can't do everything. There's not enough time in the day, and especially if you are building a healthy work-life balance, there's not enough time in the day for you to do everything. Some things are gonna have to take priority over others. And that is okay. Now, Your admin might not think that that's okay because they have the highest expectations of you ever, and they think that you are superheroes and you can do everything. And we are superheroes, don't get me wrong, but you can't do everything. Focus on what's most important, set a list, and go from there. So if your kids are really struggling in math, plan for math first. Get your energy there. And I'm not saying don't plan for the other subjects or give them anything less, but you need to focus on where your students need you the most, what their needs are, and build from there. You cannot do everything. You cannot, if you do everything, shout out to you. You're the real MVP, because you can't do everything. There's just not enough time in a day to do everything. Start with the most important, build from there. And just remember that the job is always changing. The kids are always changing. They are growing, they're regressing, they're having their own little moments, as these little humans do. So be flexible, be open. Make sure you have someone that you can vent to, you can talk to. Create those safe spaces for yourself, because what people don't realize, all the stuff that teachers actually do and go through on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Like, y'all don't understand. We need that summer vacation, okay? That summer vacation is needed, because I'm working like 12-hour days in real life, and I don't get overtime for it. I do it because this is my career and this is what I want to do. So just keep all of that in mind if you plan on being a teacher. And if anyone else has anything they think that should be added to the list, go ahead and comment it below. I'm always open to hearing. Like, you can vent to me. I understand. Educators out there, I understand. We are here, okay? We are here. All right? So that's all I have for you today. That's it. My 10 things that they don't tell you before you become a teacher. So if you are planning on becoming an educator, make sure you go over this list and check out some other lists and see if there's anything else you can add to it. I want you guys to be the most informed, because I went into the career not informed at all. They didn't teach you how to write emails back to parents, or how to respond, or how to sit in an IEP meeting, or what you should do in an IEP meeting. Like, all of those things, they don't teach you. That's stuff that you learn on the job. So be as informed as possible so you can make the best out of your teaching career. I love you all. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel so you can get all of this juicy content. And I'll see you in my next video.